This is a Monoprice Indio Classic. I bought it because it is dirt cheap on Amazon, and I've had it in my garage, still in the box, unopened, for probably over a year now. I finally took it out, and I was immediately disappointed because for over a year, I thought this was going to look a little bit different. The picture on Amazon shows almost like a blue burst, where it's like this color in the center and a slightly darker blue color around the outside. Well, it turns out that is not the case. It is just solid one color blue, and I'm not really a fan of blue guitars. But I'll say it plays and sounds decent. However, the fret ends are so sharp. Just slice my fingers up sharp. Which, that could be from sitting in my garage in a box for a couple summers. But it's just so sharp. However, it sounds decent. And it plays well. So I'm going to plug this in real quick. Let the tubes warm up. So that's the neck pickup. I do have the tone rolled off a little bit. Let's go to the bridge. It's a Strat. It's a Strat with ceramic pickups. It's just like any Squire that you'd pick up. It has a very, very light finish on the neck. That is matte. Nice satin. Very light, though. Just almost tricked me, and I almost felt like it was bare. But I just think it's a super light finish. Let's go to position 2, bridge and middle. And this does have a touch of echo and a touch of overdrive. So middle pickup. Fourth position, middle and neck. Neck pickup. Right up in this last bit of neck here, we're fretting out on some notes, but other than that, it's set up decent. I mean, so that is the Indio Classic. I think they also call it the Cali Classic or something on eBay or Amazon. On Amazon, you find it under Monoprice. Cali Classic. Says Indio Classic. Indio is a place in California, so I guess that works. These are the stock strings that were on have been on it for a couple years now. Yeah, you're not going to find a serial number on this thing. Other than that, I mean, as much as I don't like blue guitars, this is a pretty guitar. And especially with this neck. So, honestly, what I think I'm going to do... Oh, it did come with, your tremolo bar, little cable type thing. And I forgot, it did come in a gig bag. And it's not a cheap one either. This actually has, like, maybe a ½ inch of foam in it. On all sides, even the walls. The walls and then the main two body parts. Like, it has some foam to it. So that was nice. Nice little surprise there. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take care of the sharp fret ends. And then I'm just going to do a little setup. It was intonated well enough. So I'm going to set up the strings and then set up the pickups to Fender spec. I'm not even going to bother taking the strings off or even level any of the frets. And then I'm just going to turn around and flip it because I don't want it. It's not what I thought it was going to be. It doesn't have the color I thought it was going to be. So I really don't want it. It'll go up on OfferUp as setup. And that'll be that. And honestly, I don't know what I originally paid for it, but this is an $80 to $100 guitar all day, especially since it was, basically brand new out of the box. Still is going to have the plastic pick guard cover, on it. I am going to have to readjust the knobs because, normally on a Fender, your 10 on the volume knob lines up with the pickup screw. But this, you go past and number 2, you start to see number 2 on that pickup screw. So I am going to take these knobs up and reposition them appropriately. Nothing bad to say about the tuners. These are like tuners you'd find on a Squire. Yeah, I just need to clean up the sharp fret ends, give it a setup, strings and pickups, and then relist it for sale. Well, as I was doing my setup and intonation, I just noticed that whoever was doing the setup at the factory, because they had the strings higher than they needed to be, they brought the D so far forward that it actually lost threading, and there actually is there's no screw here to pull the intonation back where it needs to be. So I have to put a little screw in there, and this looks like a match. Yep, that's a match. That is a intonation screw for a Fender. So let's pull this back. Because the intonation was a little too sharp here. So I need to pull that D back. Still too sharp. That D needs to come way back. Okay, it has been set up. The nut cut wasn't bad. It was good enough. Not perfect, but good enough. I adjusted a little bit of the relief. Just put a little bit more relief into it after I got the action of the strings set and the intonation set. I adjusted the pickup heights to where they are supposed to be from Fender Factory. Let's make sure we're in tune here. We're in tune, so... So anyone that gets this guitar that's a new player would not be playing up this high, but we're bringing it out decently. No overdrive, so that's good. To get that kind of sustain without it. There is buzzing, unless you really press hard. There we go. But that is, there's only one fret left to go after that, so. I'm not gonna mess with it, because it's just not worth my time and effort to get some buzzing notes that are up here. Anyone who might buy this from me that is going to use it to mod it, I'm sure they're capable of taking a couple frets down, you know, if they need to. So, not really something that is high on my priority list. But I mean, that's right up here between the 12th and the 14th fret. I'm sorry, 12th and 15th fret. And sounds great. Here I'll play pentatonic at the 15. Reverb for that. Alright, reverb's at 10. gonna do a little bit of surf. Let's pull out the whammy bar. Okay, there we go. We're gonna have to loosen up because no beginner guitarist is gonna want to put that effort into a whammy bar. So we gotta loosen up these springs and then rebalance the tension between the springs and the strings. And then we should be almost complete with the setup. The last thing to do is to take care of the sharp fret ends. Because, seriously, those things are cutting up my thumb and my fingers. I mean, it's all torn up right here and right here. We got one last screw. Let's just do that. Whoa, they got this thing into the body all the way. All right, let's loosen this baby up. Goodness. Let's tune her up and let's see what happens from here. Alright, so we're not floating yet, but we did release a lot of tension. So it's still on the body, so it was mostly still in tune. Ooh, that's good action. Ooh. Now let's see how in tune we are. I might just want to back it off just so I'm slightly floating. Just ever so slightly. Can't help myself here. Okay, there. I am like a paper's width or a hair's width off of the body. Let's see, is it the same on this side? Yeah. Okay. Now let's tune up again. There we go. We are just ever so slightly floating. I can't even get a pick. What is this? I can't get a 0.7. It's all smudged. I can't get a 0.73 millimeter pick underneath there, but it is floating. I feel like it rings out more when it's floating. It might just be in my head, but it feels like more of an airy, effortless sound. All right, now let's check my intonation. All right. Well, let's put this back on. Okie dokie. All right. Well, I mean, it sounds good. Let's go back to that neck pickup here. Whew, I like that sound. Let me... Oh, the tone was rolled down. That was just a little bit of the Mojo Hand Effects stylus pedal, which basically makes what you're doing sound like a lo-fi record player. I have had too much fun with this guitar. I had to put a stop to all the fun that I am having because god damn. Man, it's a Strat. It does the Strat thing. Whew. My butt is sore from sitting on this bench playing this guitar. It just goes to show. It doesn't matter what guitar you have. If you have a great amp, that's all you need. You just need a good amp. The amp is way more important than the guitar, man. Because here we have like the cheapest of the cheap Monoprice Stratocaster, and it's all bare bones stock. I just did the setup, and man, through that amp, it screams. I didn't even know how to play that last song. Is that Lenny Kravitz? I want to get away. Yeah. So that's Lenny Kravitz. If I ever learned that song, it was in the late 90s, early 2000s, if I ever learned that song. So I was just, I heard the sound and then my fingers took over. And that just goes to show you, this is a killer deal of a little guitar if you know how to do some setup work on it. And I really got to take care of those fret ends because my fingers are shredded. I don't know. Let's see if we can get this light here. I don't know. My thumb is just shredded here. And my fingers are just shredded here. It's sharp as all hell. So let's take care of that now. I can find. There we go. My sanding block. This is just a foam sanding block. So I just take it kind of at a 45 because all we're trying to do is take care of these sharp metal edges that are overhanging. And you know what? At the same time, roll the edge of the fretboard so it's a more comfortable grip and playing experience. I'm not going to get my thumb all the way up here, but I'll still take care of them. Oh, that's better. All right, now we got to do the same thing to this side. You know what, let's take care of that nut edge too. Nut edge. All right. Ooh, so much better. The goal is you're not trying to not feel the fret. You're going to feel the fret. It sticks up. But the point is to get rid of the sharp overhang and round off any sharp edges. Because on something as cheap as this, there is minimal hands-on work. Everything, as much as possible, is done by machines. Now, I'm pretty sure the frets are going to go in by hand, and they are just going to get the minimum amount of snip and maybe a once-over real quick, if that. I don't know. If someone's probably not sitting there sanding the frets down and leveling them. If they are, it's the most quick, basic process just to pump these things out. Minimal hands as possible on these. It's all CNC mostly, and other machines, but not a whole lot of hands-on QC work. No Sharpies, right? No sharp edges. Okay, so doing that takes care of fret ends as well as kind of rolls the fretboard edge over a little bit. So now it's even a better feel. All right. That definitely feels better to play now. Now it is time. Oh, hi, baby. Oh, now it's time to take pictures of it, list it for sale, get this video up and posted so I can reference this video and the work I did to it and the sounds that it makes when you're plugged into a decent amp. And hopefully, hopefully get it sold. And it's so nice to just see this with a little bit of a float happening and sharp edges and a nice rolled edge. I think one of the most satisfying things that I do is just take budget guitars and make them better. That is one of my most favorite things to do. I get more satisfaction out of that than I think upgrading and modding and doing replacements of pickups and hardware and stuff like that. Just taking something like this that is as basic and cheap as possible and making it a decent guitar. Do you have to go potty? Is that what you're telling me? Is that what you're telling me? You gotta go potty. All right. Well, that's been the Monoprice Indio Classic in this blue color. And I guess I will see you next time. I gotta tend to this one. And see you on the next project.